I'm Amanda, and welcome to the Hot Plate. Today we're going to be getting steamy in the kitchen, reusing our staple tomato sauce to make a delicious lasagna. I love lasagna. It's so comforting, it's so cheesy, I love feeding it to my friends, and since we have our homemade tomato sauce already ready, this is gonna come together really quickly. And we've got all of our ingredients right here. We have got 12 lasagna noodles, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, frozen chopped spinach, 1 container of ricotta, salt and pepper, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 egg, our leftover homemade tomato sauce, 1 packet of veggie meat, 3 cups of shredded mozzarella, and our Parmesan cheese. Now, because this lasagna is going into the oven for just over an hour, we don't need to reheat the sauce. We've got our veggie meat here, which can be substituted for ground beef, turkey, chicken, even some sausage meat, or it can be omitted completely. Now, we love the veggie meat because it adds a lot of protein to this, so we're going to be dumping it into our sauce and using a side of a spoon, just breaking it up into the sauce. Make sure that if you are using any of the meats that I just mentioned, that you make sure to cook it before adding it into the sauce. Now, for one of our fillings, we're going to be using a spinach ricotta mixture, and the reason I like to do that instead of using the traditional bechamel sauce is it's much simpler to make and it's a lot healthier. So we're going to start by making the filling by adding our 1 container of ricotta to a large mixing bowl. To the ricotta, we're going to be adding our dried oregano, thyme, and basil. Then we're going to be adding the Parmesan cheese. Then we're going to be adding our 2 tablespoons of milk, cracking in 1 egg. Add the frozen chopped spinach. Now this can be found in the frozen aisle of the grocery store. You want to make sure that it's completely thawed and squeeze it dry with your hands to get out all the excess water. And then our salt and pepper. Mix it all together with a spatula until it's completely combined. Now that we have all of our ingredients assembled, we're going to start getting our lasagna together. So make sure that you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to start by ladling in a big spoonful of sauce. We're going to spread it along the bottom, and this just is going to ensure that the bottom noodles get a little bit more moisture. We're then going to be lining 3 noodles, and then to just make sure that we have one fit at the end, we're going to break off the tail. This way we have 4 noodles that fit into the bottom of our pan. Then we're going to be adding another big ladle of sauce on top of that to make sure that the noodles are fully covered. We're then going to be adding some of our ricotta mixture and spread that around until it's evenly distributed. Top that with a generous cup of shredded mozzarella, then a good sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. Top that again with another 4 lasagna noodles. Then we're going to be spreading the same amount of sauce on top of that. Repeat the spreading of the ricotta mixture and repeat 1 cup of shredded mozzarella and the generous sprinkling of Parmesan. Now for the top layer, we're going to be adding another 4 noodles, then the sauce, and then we're actually going to be sprinkling the cheese on first. So start by sprinkling on the 1 cup of shredded mozzarella, a generous sprinkling of Parmesan, and then decoratively placing the remaining ricotta over the top of the lasagna. Now that we have our lasagna all assembled, we can either cook or freeze it at this point. If you are freezing it, wrap it tightly in tinfoil, then in saran wrap. It'll freeze for up to 2 months, but when cooking it, make sure that the initial cooking period covered is an additional 25 minutes long. Now we're going to be cooking it right away, and since we have our oven preheated 350 degrees, we're going to be covering it in tinfoil. Now that our lasagna is covered in tinfoil, it's going to be going into the oven for 1 hour covered. We'll then be removing the tinfoil, placing it back in the oven, and continuing to cook it for 25 minutes until it's hot and bubbly. Our lasagna is all ready, so I'm just going to take it out of the oven and cut myself a nice big piece. And now the point I always look most forward to, tasting it. Get a nice good bite here. Oh, we've got some of the ricotta, some of the sauce. That is so creamy and so delicious. That spinach gives it an earthiness. I don't even think the boys will be able to tell there's veggie meat in this. It is so packed with protein. Thank you so much for watching The Hot Plate, guys. Make sure to check out this and all of our other episodes at thehotplate.net and updates on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thehotplate.